Thank you all for coming. Sure. Yeah, I'd like to turn it over to you guys.
So we've got our state champion. Country team here, some participants as well as parents and Coach Chambers. They'd like to talk to the board about their successful season.
Oh, yeah, I'll start. Just a quick thank you to all of you for coming. We accomplished a lot. Some of the goals that we wanted to go and get these boys a trophy. That was a goal that we kind of came out with. Last year after we got third, and we were really excited about that. So to win a trophy for the boys was huge. That was a personal goal for me for them. So coming with it first, pretty had to go back. One thing I love too is that I don't feel like they ever expected or felt entitled to that, and I feel like every day. And there was multiple times throughout the season that, you know, there was, are we good enough? And I feel like they really absorbed that into. I mean, which is pretty impressive. Whole top 10, top 15 deep list in Manhattan, which I think all of us are pretty familiar, pretty rich running culture here with some really talented. To have multiple kids break into that, you know, is really impressive. But yeah, I just really want to thank our parents. They were instrumental in so many ways. Yeah, it's really humbling. I said this at our award ceremony, but I feel like this is something I'm really called to do, and I feel lucky that I get to do it in a place like this. Yeah, that with support from our administrators, but these kids and these parents, yeah, I'm just really thankful to be part of it. So I know they want to say something. Yeah, I couldn't be prouder of them. So thank you for having us.
Okay, who wants to start? Who wants to introduce the team?
Yeah. So if you guys want to stand up, we couldn't have everybody here tonight because some of them are actually at indoor practice, which they're doing club team to get ready for track, and some of them to get ready for cross country next year. No, who are you? What grade? And yeah.
I'm Cody, grade 9, and yeah.
He was all state this year. He was 12th as a freshman.
I'm Teddy. I'm a junior.
Yeah. He's also, I believe he's sitting 14th in our deep list at Manhattan.
I'm Riley and I'm a junior.
I'm Della, I'm a junior, and I was ranked 4th at state and was one of the girls who got a new school record.
I'm Ella, I'm a senior, and I got 13th this year.
I'm Ethan, I'm a junior, and I got 3rd at state. And I want to say that our victory is definitely attributed to the athletes who performed, but it's also hugely on amazing coaching from Sarah.
I'm Ainsley and I'm a freshman.
And she ran varsity for us all year long.
I'm Emerson and I'm a freshman and I was the alternate at state.
She was our alternate at state. Yeah. I think they wanted to share a couple of things about the season if you guys are open to a couple minutes. Yeah. Go quick.
Well, great season, obviously. We couldn't have done it without Coach Jamber coaching us and our team captains, especially, who aren't here today, that helped us go along through the season and kept us going strong.
Yeah, like Cody said, it was an awesome season. Obviously, he placed really well, but it was a lot of fun too. And yeah, our coaching was amazing.
I'm just proud of us for all of the hard work we've put in this year, and I'm proud of the boys for getting their first trophy and the girls for getting 2 in a row. So yeah, first place trophy. Yeah. Anyways.
I am really just thankful for this team. I feel like even though not everyone's here right now, I feel like this team is just become a family to me, and that like everyone on this team is just someone that I can go to and trust and rely on, and I'm just proud of everyone for the season.
Winning state as senior was really cool. It was so fun, and I think that was definitely one of the highlights. But our long run got up to 11 miles this year, and we went and we ran hills up at Bozeman, and we did some of the hardest workouts that, like Sarah said, that nobody else was doing. So that was really special. And yeah, this team is it's something very special that I don't think a lot of people have. So I'm very grateful for all the girls on this team. So yeah.
I already said my bit, but I also think it's super cool to be on a team that has 3 school record breakers. Like, it's awesome to be on a team that's at its best. I love it.
I'm just really grateful for our coaches and for our team. Like, we're a really close team, and that helps us like accomplish big things.
This is my first year running cross country, and I was super nervous going into it. I don't think I could have had a better team. And it's really inspired me to continue to stick with it, and we're honored that I got to be here this year.
So out of all the team members that you've got, how many seniors did you have on the boys and the girls?
Two
for
seniors on
girls.
the girls' side, and then we had 7 boys. 6 boys. So it was
So many. It's a lot.
Luke Halverson, Bryce Anderson, Lucas Goodman, Cole Cameron, Gavin Wortman,
And Hank.
Hank Strasser,
And then me, and then Sophie Stewart.
and Sophie Stewart.
So are you all, with the exception of Ella, going to run cross country next year?
Yeah.
They're all.
Of course they are.
Yeah, we've already been talking a little bit here and there. I want to always give some downtime after the season, but I think, the championship mindset a little bit, whether it's, we can get into splitting hairs on what is championship mindset, but little things of like setting these goals. And I know some of them are individual, some of them are a team, and I think they start now, which is really cool. And so, we're having those conversations now. So.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for greeting us
Yeah.
when we come back with the fire. No, not the fire.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the fire truck, but I meant like the police
And you became-
escort, like the parade. I know people don't come and watch cross. Well, you do, but like not as much as other sports. So it's nice when we do get recognition. So thank you.
We're really proud of both the teams and all the effort, even the kids that don't place in the thing, they're still out there participating and pushing you guys to be better too. And you're bringing all of them up too. So I just really appreciate your efforts as teammates, even though it's kind of an individual thing when you go out there and run, but it still works together as a team and it makes you close. And I really applaud you guys for the effort that you guys put in, and thank you for bringing home 2 championship trophies to the Texas School of Manhattan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
I see a lot of nervous energy. We have to sit here through the whole meeting. Right here. You're not going to be, it won't be rude of you if you guys want to go home and have dinner now. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Thank you for having us so much.
Thank you, guys.
You bet. Thank you. Now, for those individuals who intend to address the board during the public comment portion, the board chair will call on those individuals to speak. The intended purpose of the public comment segment of our agenda is for a member of the public to bring a matter to the attention of the board for the board's information and or consideration at a later date. In general, the board is precluded from making decisions regarding public comment items since they are not specified on the agenda. In addition, the public comment section of the agenda is not a time to raise personnel issues. Therefore, I'd like to remind everyone in attendance that to avoid violations of individual rights of privacy, a member of the public wishing to address the board during this time will not be allowed to make comments about any student, staff member, or member of the general public during his or her designated time to speak. In addition, the board will not hear comments on contested cases, but other adjudicated proceedings. Also, a reminder that we are videoing and audio recording these meetings for later perusal on our website. So with that, does anyone have any public comment on non-agenda items? Any public comment? Seeing none, Ready to roll, Mr. Ayers.
Thank you. Consent agenda. It is recommended that the district approve the following items on the consent agenda: minutes, regular November 12, 2024, special December 4, 2024, warrant list November 2024, including payroll, operational activities, and employment 2024-25, Clara Lab, student worker after school program.
Anything on the consent agenda that any of the board would like to act on separately? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Board action items. Item A, it is recommended that the district approve the proposed 2024-2025 employment. Start with number 1, Chris Nagel, swing shift custodian.
Is there a motion to approve that recommendation? So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion on that? That's that. You have that, Mr.
I'll
Ayers?
take that one. Chris has worked for the district before. He knows the school, he knows the grounds, the buildings, been trained, is knowledgeable on all the cleaning methods, the equipment we use. He actually trained one of our current custodians, and our head custodian has worked with Chris in the past. Believes that he has all the skills necessary to perform evening custodial duties, and is a great addition to our team.
And is he cleaning in all the buildings, or is it as needed where they are, or what?
Chris is cleaning, so he's in the middle school. Yeah, okay, so you can maybe speak if you want.
He's doing a great job. He's been here before. He has a positive attitude. He's working. Hard. Dustin.
He came back, so.
He came back, okay.
Heavyweight basketball coach.
Motion to
And that one,
Yeah, shorter. Position for some time, we need to do interviewing those. So this could speak a little bit to our next one as well. It's a returning member. We actually just met with the kids today, but I think Torter. Respect for him is I've worked with him as he's helped out in a bunch of different things through the fall and the winter, and certainly feel good about him leading the middle school.
Is there a program going on now?
It starts in January.
It's a January program.
And we met with him today to try to get physical paperwork turned in. For the holidays, so we come back on that Monday of January.
Motion to approve Torter Saquon as presented, say aye. Aye.
thank you. Number 3, Evan Kaduna, junior high.
Motion to support that. Moved and seconded. Discussion on that. Same thing.
Yeah, similar, maybe. From getting to know him a little bit, we decided to move him to coach the 8th grade team. So Torter will be the head coach of the program, and is going to coach the 8th grade team. Really relate well to the kids, responding. But no, I think that he'll do a great job again returning back. He was in this position last year.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve Evan Kaduna as the junior high assistant boys basketball coach as presented, say aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Number 4,
Second. Moved and seconded. Discussion on that?
So Chris, he came to me at the beginning of the at MSU teaching coaching classes. He's a certified MOA official. He's run basketball camps in the past. Can I help out? What can I do? And so when this position opened up, we had Michelle Mayo, who was in this position. She moved up to the girls 7th and 8th. So this seemed something perfect as far as again, he was willing really, where can I lend a hand? You know the sport box during the weekend tournament. His daughter Amber Witten, who was our counselor at the elementary school as well. So that family's kind of dove in and said, hey, where can we be of assistance? Best fit for him working with our young kids in basketball. Junior varsity coach for girls basketball.
The name. Okay, that's right. Sarah Boscia as a 6th grade basketball coach. Say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 5 is a coaching contract renewal. Jason Schmidt, 6th grade basketball coach.
Is there a motion to accept that recommendation? So moved. Second. I moved in second. Discussion on that. I want to first start with why are we having, if he's a renewal? Is it?
That's I think a decision we were advised on the spring of last year.
With all of our, even the sub-varsity coaches too. Okay. Okay. You have anything to add about Jason?
Nothing more to add, no.
Okay, any other discussion about Jason? Schmidt, carries.
Thank you. Item B. Recommended that the motion for the 5/20/2024.
Motion to support that recommendation. It's been moved and seconded. Discussion on that.
His son is.
And if I were requested anything like this before, I think so. It's our goals for our teachers. So. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion to recommend to approve the discretionary leave request. Aye. Motion carries.
Student attendance agreement for incoming elementary and incoming high school non-resident enrollment request due to extenuating circumstances.
Let's do the elementary. We'll do this in 2 ways. First, is there a proposal or a motion to accept the recommendation for the elementary? So, I moved and seconded for that discussion.
Yeah, and so we have that description. We have 2 or 3 keywords. Yes, that's what we have. So we have students, 2 kindergarten students, a 3rd grade student, 3 8th grade students.
Any other discussion on that?
I think with any unextenuating circumstances without going into the defense.
Yeah, so extenuating circumstances. On behalf of the district, with just the continuing planning enrollment of the district, opening our enrollment. Numbers in our elementary school districts. That was the extenuating circumstances. State funding is. And when our AV, we must. Subsequently, what we do see is projected shortfalls for the coming year. And so opening the out of district allows us the opportunity to try to increase our attendance numbers where we have room and address that. For next year.
And none of these was over our cap, we've got our markers that we've got, because we still fall within them.
It all falls in group. Eighth grade, and this fall worked really hard.
From Amsterdam students, now they're completely new to our district. Okay, any other discussion?
Numbers again on the different grades, how many each?
2 kindergarten students, one third grade. Grade and 3 8th grade.
Approve the incoming elementary special student attendance agreements. Was that say aye? Aye. Motion carries. And then will be the next one.
And right with that, so I'll just say that we will have another kindergarten for sure at the next board meeting. It's the chief reading down this list. Participating more and more, okay, at least for next month. Oh, is it okay? I'll double check that. I thought we had covered it.
It will still be okay before the next semester starts
Yeah.
in January.
So the plan we'll look at in January. We'll bring recommendations to you. And February as well, right? And just after that, and everything's next week.
For the next year.
In high school, we have 2. That new enrollment, what it does is it, under the new district enrollment, a new law, the district will pay tuition to us. Being here. So really just one new enrollment.
To approve the recommendation for the high school non-resident enrollment request. So moved and seconded. Any other discussion on that? I think we should have plenty of room in high school. Ms. Collins, that's not a problem. Accommodating. Okay. All right. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion?
Item D is recommended the district approve the proposed Montana advanced annual report 2024.
Or motion to accept that recommendation? So moved. Moved and seconded. Mr. Harris, tell us a little about that. So,
Josh Mostad oversees the grant. The completion and submission of the annual report is required. Continued qualification for funding in the next fiscal year. Mr. Mostad is not here. We hope that he will be here tonight. To
to speak to that at all, Mrs. House? Okay, thank you.
Montana Advanced Opportunity Act was created to expand personalized career and post-secondary success, empower students to actively engage in forming a secondary success path, and provide expanded flexibility to districts in supporting students in their post-secondary to align with their interests, passions, strengths, needs, and culture. We received $35,217.33 in total for the grant. Divided into 75% to be used in support of reducing out-of-pocket costs for students and 25% to be used in support of our CTE programs. And so that roughly 26,400 for around 8,800. Today we have spent $725 for student out-of-pocket costs and 4,900 towards updating CTE programs. We're currently looking at certifications for students in OSHA 10, AWS certification, which is welding, and ServSafe, and are looking for more. Our CTSOs will be utilizing the funding to be able to go to and participate in their various competitions and trainings as well. Funds may be rolled over to the following year for use in CTE programs.
Correct, it's not like when they get out of school and we can help them with something else, is that what I'm kind of confused on?
Correct. So it's just development of their skills in high school.
Yeah. All right, all right, I'm reading too much into it there.
They're well within.
It's for civil guy.
Yes.
Any questions on this grant?
How much money was it overall? I'm really wondering, so 35. Yeah.
So what we said.
You would account that, the key is gonna be 75%, right?
So it'll be a combination of the certifications, so students to get actual professional certification. So, right now, the course fees that we have students pay don't cover near the amount. Materials themselves actually cost, so with the have the potential to reduce the fees that students are paying, kind of hit both sides.
To advertise to our community that we're providing these opportunities for these kids too. I think that's a good opportunity to tell them that they're. We've got some grants for that are going to benefit. So.
Are you able to keep going year after year, or is it just, every year, see how it falls?
And
So the months are.
Annual report, we have about 5 months, and this annual report each year will allow us to continue.
Is there any kind of sunset time?
So as long as the legislature.
But it's not new money, it's this, like one time.
We will get it next year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That changes after a new legislative session or whatever.
Right. I believe there's a limit, so not everybody got funded this year, but I know I've heard, webinars that they're intending to fund it fully moving forward. So every school that applies with, there's enough money.
CTE pushes legislation. So this will be, I would be surprised if this funding dried up. I Marisa, you're at that legislative breakfast, and
Yeah, that's the key emphasis.
that's a huge piece of CTE, and so.
business,
Yeah.
FCS, so it's not just.
Questions? All in favor of the motion to approve the annual reports presented, say aye. 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 Motion carries.
Thank you. And thank you, Madam Mr. Chairman. Item E is recommend that the district consider technology class curriculum materials.
Is there a motion to support that recommendation? So, we've got second discussion on that.
I can speak to it a little, and also Shane working tonight to also speak to the class, since we've been working pretty closely on it. The class itself was brought up last year for a variety of reasons. For one, the class that this would replace is currently an interest by students. A lot of times the kids that would be put into that class are forced to get interaction, and they need to get their and their sophomores, they needed to get the class so much. We also are looking at content in classes that kids and with the criminology class, our teacher last year was really interested in it and started the process of developing the curriculum. When reviewing it, there's not a lot of like concrete full materials out there, and so it was pieced together from a variety of sources. Materials that can support the curriculum and the topics that we discuss in the class, and making sure that it is content that's appropriate for high school and can fit it in with our social studies electives, and hopefully also offer another upper level elective that hopefully our juniors can see. Well, and so through that process, we've changed to a lot of schools and a lot of different MTEAs. There's their curriculum coordinator. I don't to get a lot of materials that other high schools are using. Three-Course has a criminology class. Belgrade has a criminology class. Those are the closest ones to us. MTEA, we have 2 students taking MTEA criminology. And when we put this on of classes last year to see what kind of interest. All that being said, the document that's linked there it outlines kind of all the different topics that we would look to cover in the class. Just the foundations of criminology, moving into the series. I'll skim through this, and then if we want to go. Going into some of the theories, not all of them, looking at crime typologies, and then also probably taking bite out of crime, the challenges that we see in society. And so throughout this document, you can see like the big idea of each of those parts and units, what questions the students should be able to answer by the end of those units, the specific topics that would be and also just some potential activities that really enhance their learning in there. So. Did you want to add anything?
We try to make those available for our parents and community to evaluate.
Yeah, so we've kind of gotten, so when we were looking through the material options for the class, I probably looked at over 10 textbooks, narrowed it down to a couple just based on the content and what was being covered in the books. Both Shane and Mrs. Yelly have looked at the textbooks and given their feedback on kind of what content is in them. So I have these two. What we're looking at is pulling in the information that we want from the textbook, using that, and then there's online materials that come with this that can be edited. You're in more control of all of the information that is presented to kids, because with the topic of criminology, there are sexual assaults and things like that that I don't think you're going to find a book that those can exist in. And so, in a way to intentionally set controlling where the books are, who has access to them. Shane also has a book that he's reading that wouldn't be one we have students either, but it is teaching yourself criminology.
Yes.
And so kind of more information so that as the teacher of the class and instructor information that he can guide this process or guide the class with. So I do have these, and so the materials that are handed to kids. Not necessarily designed, but the instructional materials use the slideshows and assignments and things like that with the ability to pull out.
So we're gonna kind of just jump into it without really having a whole syllabus ready for anybody to look at, correct?
Document here is
That's
what it is.
that's
And
okay.
so out of all the schools that I reached out to that are high school level, 3/4 that was really bold. And so with and administrators that I talked to, their teachers have built their own content. And so I do have access to online materials from Montana Digital Academy. And so being able to pull those resources that are already designed for high school like this type of material would be what the class would be delivered in.
Is that good? I just want to say that, you know, when we've got parents that are kind of goes on TV, maybe that's the way they should teach myself criminology. But I think there's a lot of things we need to be sensitive about.
Yeah, and I think this you could look at and say, here's the content that's going to be taught, but look at this paperclip section covers sexual, and it goes into talking about rape and sexual predators and things like that. I'm not putting this book in students' hands. Material will not be covered, and the course outline or the curriculum outline that is attached, it lines right here. Okay. And so you can match and say, okay, this topic is what vocabulary is being used. So this is available in the office. Be similar to when you have other classes and read different resources, or pull it would be a resource, not necessarily like the core textbook that copies of.
So Mr. Moore, as you're teaching this, what do you think is going to be the end game as far as what you're wanting to have the kids get a hold of? This class, what would it be?
I would say classical theories like
and then also, like she said, how do we combat that? And also rehabilitation as well of criminals, right? After they're
let them back into society, how we deem them ready to go back into society.
Sounds like a speech and debate type class too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Anyone else have any other questions?
Can you,
That would be correct. So that will pass the game.
What did you, okay, and then funding piece.
So, funding wise, there really wouldn't be a cost aside from what we already spent our activities money on to purchase this book. We wouldn't be buying a full set of student books. And if we got to a point where we were interested in finding a set of student books, then we would policy where that goes to review curriculum comes as a whole separate step. Request student accommodation, PTO, and all sorts of activities account that goes towards any kind of classroom support there.
Up next semester, if that's the plan, if it passes here, you're looking at targeting freshmen, sophomores, is that what's going to be, or is it going to be open to?
Right now, it's open to.
Okay.
And I think with knowing then that allows us to tweak the depth of the content that is taught, if that's fair to say.
And then, so then once again, let's get back to the parents. So we launched this thing and they want to come in, they said, my son came home and we're talking about that and that. Are you going to have? Provide to the parents to really review what this curriculum is or what it's designed to be. I guess that's still a concern of mine. As a parent, with the parents about what we're teaching.
And I think we would be able to provide them in the book, and then also all of the instruction materials that we use would be accessible and ready to share too.
I would just add. We have limited resources for curriculum adoption, and we have a lot of curriculum needs, and that this would definitely not take priority over some of those. Community seek funding if that becomes. I mean, if the decision is made to do a textbook without. That process, and also seek funding from groups like PTO or the foundation, just simply because it would not rise to the level of some of our other needs at this time with the limited funds we have. I understand that.
Anyone else have any other questions?
One thing I see the kind of consistent through here is a lot of talk. With sociology in general. And to split off to that same topic. Sociology is kind of strange. It's not tangible. I didn't necessarily think so much about sociological stuff or criminology. Yeah, it's a crime scene. You're looking for more forensics, right? This is much more sociological, and so I just kind of wondered if there's any other courses. Course catalog that kind of mimic that same sort of thing with sociology.
And that would be the difference if we were to shift like criminology class to be a science elective and the forensics route, where this curriculum is that social studies. But we've got our social studies electives currently, our current events, geography, world, psychology, and historical studies engineering. So, cultural studies, government, U.S. history, probably.
history games.
Oh, I thought I said that, maybe I missed it.
Cultural studies.
That's cultural studies. That was our senior level class. A semester of Montana cultural studies and semester of government. And then it's juniors, they're going to take US history.
So I guess a new discipline that kind of gets you power. There's forced into it for college. Everything I can, but I think that part of it. It could certainly benefit from our students having a little bit of exposure to the sociology side of.
All in favor of the motion to, let's see, to accept the recommendation to add criminology class curriculum materials as presented, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Determination of eligibility for hire.
Motion to support that recommendation.
So moved.
And second discussion on that, sure.
Yeah, so basically in a nutshell, determination of eligibility for hire when we're required through all language that references that was a back. The new word would be Manhattan School District. Policy 5120. So you just change the Manhattan School District application background check procedure, replace with Manhattan.
Termination of eligibility for hire. Yes. Also, that word change.
Yeah.
And that is background check.
Yeah.
Because they require all new.
every 5 years, so we were being audited, and so they look at everything, they look at all the policies, 5120, 5120P, and then we have three forms, and those forms come from them, so they're basically requiring us to update their form. And then F1 and F2, so we're full compliance once we change their fiscal. So it's basically what they told us was somebody's name on it and any reference to that, which is yes,
We do.
we do.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve 5120F as presented, say aye. Aye.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the board information items. Just policy 3141, so this will be first reading. Policy 3141, that's the out of district enrollment policy. Dates. What we want to do by this removal dates, so we can meet update the deadlines on an annual basis. It breaks down field goal instead of one time in March or April. And the district schools can use the monthly approval process to determine whether or not students can be accepted at each grade level, which is kind of moving back to our process. Process also allows for more time for families. Because we had a lot of people apply for our district enrollment, we never ended up enrolling. They were enrolling a lot at their school. And so I think just by not putting one. And by the time summer rolls around, the actual deadline gets, families that apply are the families that want to enroll. That in our plan. That's a big challenge for us right now. Is planning. How do you plan for the unknown, right? When it comes to because if you think you're going to have these kids invite other teachers, right? State funding and be able to define. Those kids don't show up, you have this teacher, you know, like that.
Is there anything in that policy that would need to go to our policy committee? Or you think it's generic enough to? Individually.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's funny because Miranda and I talked about this, you know, for example, curriculum committee. When you read policies around committees, you know, we have this. You read the policy, only people within it. So the people who work most closely with the admin team, the registrar, myself, and even reporting out to trustees and the I feel like that service committee, this decision making up.
I think with the board committee, to once established. Options of the policies we have to make decisions on. That's what we use the board. We'll say that. Is that right, Mr. City, right?
Yeah, and committee.
Right. Great. Okay. Then, yeah.
Any questions on it all for now? Okay. All right, that brings us to our principal reports. And I switched them around. I just switched them. That, so let's go first. I guess. Yes.
We did get to just this week, what Critical Seems Electric is. So we're excited to have them. I feel like our students are really doing a good job of fitting in with the teams and the structure. Our behavior has been really good this last month. Being around their classmates, and I'm excited to come to school on a daily basis. We had our elementary concert on December 9th. Was really, it was packed full. Fun to be a part of, and very cool to watch how excited the kids were to perform. On like a Christmas luncheon for our teachers and parents, I had Sophie's cater it, so soup salad. Gave our teachers also sit together, have lunch together, talk and mingle. We did kind of a cool raffle kind of. Games in the box, we'll draw out winners tomorrow. And so, but there's a lot going on. So a couple of students, I think, that I felt very interesting to share. So we have a fourth grader. And not a lot of people know about it, but his anniversary is what they call it, was on 12/5, and on was when he got diagnosed. And on that day, we had a whole elementary were read for his anniversary. And the reason we did this has to be because he's really why are you always going to the office, things like that. So we met with mom, his teacher, counselor, and our nurse. Way to counteract his struggle. We asked him if he would potentially share a PowerPoint to his class. On diabetes. And so he was like, absolutely, we were very surprised that he wanted to do that. And so we all came. So to all be there for his slideshow PowerPoint. He has, he wears it on his sleeve now. He's proud of who he is and what he's going through, but I also think it brought for him to not only share, but to know like I'm very strong to be able to do this. So that's been a cool change to see. And then thank you for Brian. I have to give him that our fifth graders did this year, and thank you from our last year. The student initiative early on, and they put together a presentation. They had multiple things on the presentation. Brought in Mr. Blessom and Mr. Ayers on changes that within our building and within the school system, but also the students. And one of the changes that they would elect stalls in our 3 through 5 bathrooms. They're very old. They were ready to be replaced, and that was one of the things that they really pushed for. When I came in, Mr. Blessom told me, we hadn't got that. Stalls for both of them, and they just got installed this week, and kids are excited. The grades match everything. It's just a new look for them. We got petitions like in the middle of each of the urinals as well, just help with privacy and things like that. So I was just very grateful for getting that done. So I'm excited to see what the new fifth graders come up with. We'll have prayers come down again and see what happens. So.
Any questions? Mr. Krupp?
Thank you for sharing that story. Yeah. Student diabetes. Ms. Volk?
Well, it's Christmas break coming up, so I'll give you a book to read over break. No, so there's things to read later, if you choose. Record, just kind of highlight what's here. Share about how we're working on shared student data. We're focused on teacher growth, and we're doing a curriculum review for pretty much all of our content areas because some of our materials are from 1990. And some from 2002. So we're just looking at how to update and be relevant with what we used to teach. Which has been nice because it gives us an opportunity to grow professionally as we review curriculum. And so we have a bunch of items showing up over one big package of math materials for us to look at. Committee, and if we propose anything, it would come your way, but that's our route with our curriculum review. And then what you see here on this first page is two different schools that are using Character Strong. That is what our counseling team has forwarded for and will come up in the future for you guys to take a look at. But I want to just focus on the title of it being Character Strong and building character. And so what I really like about it is that the school focuses on like like respect for the month of September. And so then we align everything we do within our middle school on respect. What does it look like in every location? How can we be more respectful? And just practicing and understanding really well what that definition is and why it's an important character trait. And then October in this school goes to responsibility, November gratitude, very appropriate for Thanksgiving and the holiday era, December empathy. And these words and choices with this program are aligned to kind of what we experience. Right now is a great month for empathy as we go into the holidays. And along those lines, we had someone donate $1,100 to our school, so we were able to provide specifically for holiday assistance for family members in the community. And it's been beautiful to share that and hear back from people who are really experiencing hardship and how they feel safe to reach out to us for that support. And so just really cool. This is kind of what Character Strong is, and I'm all for building character at the middle school age because we are doing a lot of root work at the middle school that benefits and they grow as they go into the high school and into their adult life. So those are just a couple samples of what it looks like. Lately, we've been focusing on in our most recent bulletin out to teachers is what great teachers do differently. There's a list of 17 things that matter most for us to reflect on because we want to be great. We don't want to be average. We don't want to be good. We want to be great. But recently, because of just kind of the standard of excellence and pushing past what we're used to and kind of patterns of things that have kind of been status quo for a long time. A lot of teachers are hitting this deep, the learning pit. You see that, we're ready for a challenge, we're ready to take on things, we're ready to grow. And then when we go into the pit, then we try things new and we get confused and stuck. And so we've had some conversations with the middle school staff about when we get to that place, we've got to persevere, we've got to push through, and we can't go back to old practices because that's not going to get us where we want to go to be a school of excellence. So we've had great conversations, some challenging ones, a few tears, but we're moving in the right direction. Lately, the focus for our staff has been elevating our conversations so that we can be solution focused and not be in this place of things are hard, so I'm just going to be frustrated and vent because that's not productive for anyone. So there's a message that I sent out to staff this morning to remind us of how to navigate through those conversations where people we trust and people we worked with for a long time might be in a place where they're capturing us with a conversation that's not solution oriented or problem solving focused. And so there's some tips on how to get out of that in a professional way. When we return from break, we're going to review and potentially update our school staff shared values, which again are listed here. And I'm very much like the teacher, and at the end I ended with a quote that the teacher is the decisive element in the classroom. They have the power to make or break the child's learning experience. And so it all comes down to how are we going to show up every day for the kids that we serve and how do we keep them first even when we're tired. So that's it. And if you want to read through all of that, it's there for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I would just add the Character Strong curriculum that will be made available as part of that whole curriculum review. Families, parents want to come in and look at it by that process. Good. All right, Mrs. Howells.
Just some things that we've got going on right now. In general, we did the 12 days of Christmas. Just some fun little theme days that staff have enjoyed, and we've done it for the past now 3 years. We'll have a staff pizza luncheon on Thursday just to get together as staff before the holiday break. We have, I meant to bring these, but I forgot. We've got some positive postcards that we're going to be utilizing throughout the year just to they can fill it out. hopefully we get a few sent home before break so that families can receive those over the vacation. And so I think it'll be fun. It can be just a good reminder that there's positive in all of our kids and focus on that is important. Morp was a good event. I think we're close to 100, I think just shy of 100 students participating in that. The Christmas concerts were a success, and so our band and choir students did a wonderful job. And just a shout out and thank you to our music teachers for the time and effort they put into these big events. I didn't put it in there, but also a huge thank you to our PE teachers as well, because they give up a lot of space on those days so that those can take place. There's our summary for attendance right now. We've seen a decrease in attendance rates in all 4 grade levels again this month. None of them over a full percentage though, like we had last month. But freshmen, sophomore hovering around 95%, and then the juniors and seniors dropping down into the 93 percentile range. We have had a lot of illness this month, and so we've had a lot of kids out sick. So I think that that's been a pretty big impact there. In terms of academics, kind of like Mary spoke to, we're looking at getting a lot of demo materials for math to look at with teachers and part of our curriculum review process. The MEC work is taking place. We did science in the beginning of the year, and they're still underway with math. And then coming up in the new year will be business literacy, health PE, and world languages. And so we've got teachers participating in all of those, which is very, very good. Upcoming events, the BPA Regional Conference is tomorrow. And so I'll be headed to Helena with our BPA group as they compete, and I'll give my shot at judging that I have not done since college. So wish me luck. Then we have our winter break, and then we come back, and pretty quick into January we'll have semester exams, and then we'll jump right into the end of first half of the year. And then as far as student celebrations, we had Isabel Robertson as our student of the month for December, and we got to celebrate her last week. And then we had 24 students receive high fives. And so in the month of November, and I haven't done our December count yet, but it's fun to be able to see the positive recognition taking place for our kids.
Right, a quick athletics and activities update before I get into the winter stuff. We never did recap football. Wes mentioned at the football banquet last week or 2 weeks ago that he's probably never going to get over that one. It was a heartbreaking loss in the state championship game. But the positive I take from it is when you can care about something so much and feel it that much, that's living life, and that's doing what you're passionate about. I felt the same way there on the sideline in Malta. I did present to the MHSA executive board some feedback that I feel that the state championship games being hosted at home sites has some drawbacks to it. Kind of feels a little bit more like a homecoming for the home team. So I'm asking MHSA and membership to consider what a neutral site event could look like for football. Going into winter sports, we are underway now in our winter season. Boys basketball has 26 participants. Girls basketball has 20, wrestling with 18, and in cheer dropped 1. They're down to 8 for the winter because one of theirs moved over to wrestling. Speech and drama, those guys are underway about halfway through their season. We're hosting the divisional meet here on January the 25th, and we're looking for judges. So if you guys are interested in doing that or can help pass that word along. Middle school girls basketball, they are wrapping up their season this week. Our 8th grade team won the Three Forks tournament. Our 7th grade team took 2nd, and the boys basketball and wrestling season start after break. A couple of basketball games to close out this week before we go on the holiday break. We hosted the tip-off tournament this past weekend. A huge thanks to the volunteers, boosters, and staff who helped run a successful tournament. And then finally, the conversation that we've had around 8th grade participation. One thing that we are doing, we did introduce 8th grade wrestlers to just practice participation as a way to kind of go into that, maybe give us some feedback on how that can work, but we're not introducing eighth graders into competition or travel or anything like that. But there are eighth graders that we have in the practice setting. We want to monitor that and see how that goes.
So then will they still participate in their regular junior high?
Once the junior high season starts, because the MHSA rule is you can only participate, you can't simultaneously go. So once the junior high season begins, they'll be done with that. And their calendar is pretty convenient. That works out pretty well.
Any questions for Mr. Parsons? Or any of the principals? Guess you're up there, guy.
Okay, first of all, I would just say, I can't say enough about this leadership team right here, these 4 people, and now that including Kristen Pearson to that. The work they're doing is making tremendous change for the better. We already have a pretty good thing going here, and we're taking it to that next level. I love reading the stuff they send out, not only to their staff, but just to the community. And one of the things that struck me, this Volk sent out this morning is, I'm going to hack the quote, but it's something that I've heard before, and I think it's where we need to be is, good is the enemy of great. So we don't settle for good, and we're pretty good, but we can be better, and that's what this group is doing. They're raising the bar, and it is hard. Change is hard, and learning is hard. So, I think it's also really good for us as not just leaders, but all the educators in our district to experience that, because, we're lifelong learners, and we're not done, right? We're not done learning, and so we're experiencing how hard it can be. And that kind of reminds us, I think, also how hard it is for our kids who are in our classes every day. So I would just start off with that. Just a heads up, I've been contacted by NBC Montana. They're developing a story about schools across Montana, switching from a 5-day school week to a 4-day school week. So I'll be working with this team just to provide some data that they want to interview in the coming days. So we'll pull some hard data, but then also some anecdotal data to share where we're at in year 2 as a 4-day school week. So, a couple of things, big ticket items for me, CRDC, the Civil Rights Data Collection. That means a whole lot of folks, but it consumes a tremendous amount of time. Some of those over there. And that one, we're doing training right now for that, and that kicks off. Accreditation window is now open as well, and there's just a tremendous amount of work around that, and so those 2 things are going to be probably consuming most of my time in the coming weeks, months, and I'll be working with this team to accomplish that. Facilities use. Amanda's working with Jeannie Francis to coordinate spaces for the adult ed program, which will run from mid-January through April. So that's coming. Committee updates, Professional Development Committee. That committee will meet in January, the January PIR day, and we'll start planning for the 2025-26 professional development plan. That is going to be driven very much by administrative rules of Montana, 1055-714, that's the accreditation process. So gone are the days of a group of folks sitting in a room and deciding what we want to do for professional development this year. It's pretty much laid out in administrative rules coming out of this last legislative session. So we'll be doing a lot of educating at our January PIR on what that's going to look like. And then we'll have our different buildings go to work, trying to make that make sense developmentally for the work that the teachers do with their kids. So curriculum committee will meet. We met in November, but our next meeting will be in February, And as you can tell from the reports and from even the action items, curriculum is the top priority of our district right now, just trying to develop frameworks around curriculum, different content areas, and also using the limited resources we do have to prioritize our greatest curriculum needs and updating our curriculum. So that's ongoing. Facility planning and building committee. That committee met November 6th. And just very, very quickly, some things that came out of that. The main thing that came out of that really is taking a hard look at potential for vocational agricultural programming, industrial arts. How does this all fit within our master plan and putting together that a timeline for that, and potentially involving rolling out some type of vocational agricultural programming even as soon as next year. Again, funding will be a big part of that decision. We're looking for a long-term planning. We're looking at teacher housing potential for that. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details there, but just know that's something that there's some opportunities there in our community for that. A major project that we will be planning, and it's a huge ticket item, is a asbestos abatement of the elementary school, the main entryway. We're probably looking at anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000 price tag, and that has to happen this summer. So that will shut down that part of the elementary school for as much as a month, probably not more than a month. And there's a lot of other things going on there, but that's the gist of that committee. Wellness committee met in November and is planning staff wellness fair in March. We had a very successful fair last school year. We'll do it again this year. Safety committee will meet in January to review and update our emergency procedures, our safety plan, as well as develop a new threat assessment plan. Policy committee is ongoing, and the next work of our policy committee will be this just revisions to the out of district enrollment policy. But in the new year, that committee will come together with different members to look at all that's going to come out of the 2025 legislative session. There's a lot coming down the pike that could have pretty significant impact on public schools. So our policy committee will take different shapes. I mean, we'll pull in different people depending on what the legislation is that we're looking at. Transportation committee, just an update. The ultra coach is on schedule to arrive within the 10-month window, which places it on site in time for it to begin depreciating for the next fiscal year, which gets us starts our timeline for using depreciation on that bus, and within 3 years we would be able to replace the second activity bus with a smaller Freightliner. Remember, we looked at ultra coaches and Freightliners and opted for the larger ultra coach now, but we're on track to have a Freightliner on site at no cost other than depreciation funds for a second Freightliner, second license, which would be a Freightliner. So that's good news. We'll have another. We'll know exactly a landing date again. Superintendent Advisory Council did not meet in December with everything that's going on. We will resume meetings in January. Tentative topics will be legislative updates, early literacy, which is something that I believe we need to take a hard look at in our district. And by early literacy, I mean pre-K through 3rd grade or up to 3rd grade. And then curriculum review. As we start to bring curriculum forward, we'll want parents to use that Superintendent Advisory Council time to look at it. And then last but not least, MTSS district implementation team met on Friday, and we had sent out an email to the staff. You guys should receive that. So your summary will be in there. That's all I have.
What about OCR? Any news on that?
No news. And the last time I called him in,
We don't want that.
he scheduled a site visit. So I had to work these two, so I can't ask him until they're home.
Right, so. Have anything else? Horace?
Appreciate your attendance tonight. Thank you for adjourned. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, you got it. Up here. Could you go up here? There we go. Yeah. Okay.